Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Angelo Christian Financial. Thank you so much for watching our podcast, Real Estate Insider, where America goes for funding for the last 20 years. This video is brought to you by Billy Hoffman out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He asked me to actually make a video on if lenders actually do a background check when you're getting a home loan or a mortgage. He said, hey Angelo, could you mind making a video? Do lenders actually do a background check on you when you're getting a loan? And I was like, that's a good question. No one's ever asked me that before. And so I thought I'd talk about that because I wanted to bring to light that there actually are different types of levels of background checks depending on the type of loan that you're getting. So I wanted to talk about this today because I thought it was an interesting topic. No one's ever asked me that question before. I thought it was a great question to actually talk about it. So there are different types of background checks that lenders do on people. They just don't do a credit report check. The credit report doesn't reveal everything about somebody. So different lenders do different types of background checks on people when they're getting certain type of home loans. And we'll talk about that today, and commercial loans. Usually commercial loans have more thorough background checks than residential home loans, okay? So now the thing is that I want to be clear because the type of background checks that are done are not the same thing that are done. Like if you're trying to buy a handgun and you try to get a background check by the FBI or something like that, it's not that type of it's not a criminal background check per se. All right. They're usually, lenders are checking. I'm going to talk about residential first. Residential lenders, they usually run like a LexisNexis report or what we call a fraud guard report. That basically shows like all the type of civil real estate transactions that you've ever been involved with, okay? So maybe you've had judgments, maybe you've had foreclosures, lien transfers, buying, selling of properties, those type of background checks, right, on somebody with respect to those type of transactions, because a lot of those things are not going to show up on your credit report like we saw that in 2018, they got rid of all the lien and judgment searches on people's credit reports. So those no longer show up on your credit report. So the fraud guard of the LexisNexis will show maybe you have title to property that never shows up on your credit. Maybe you have judgments that never show up on your credit, but they're on that background report. Now, this isn't running a criminal background report on you because lenders are for residential aren't really checking your criminal background record to see if you qualify for a home loan. That really isn't their interest or concern. Obviously, they wouldn't be happy if you had a thorough or a deep rap sheet, but what they're mainly checking is to see, any type of loans that are either private loans or undisclosed debts, real estate that's undisclosed, stuff like this that comes up on a fraud guard or LexisNexis background report, okay? So that's what lenders are looking for on residential properties. Now, commercial is a lot different. Commercial, they can do much more thorough background checks and do scrubs against the government. So there's government lists that are out there that are almost like criminal background checks that are ran, especially if you're doing multi-million-dollar commercial transactions, that those lenders can run on you to make sure that you're not debarred with any type of federal government agency, right? Because that's a huge thing. If you're doing a hotel for $20 million, they want to make sure that you're not, you don't have big issues against you. And they will run background checks on you that are very thorough and very deep, okay, for commercial loans. So remember, with commercial loans, because the size of the loan is usually, much, much larger, they're going to do more due diligence, more checking, and they could run federal type background checks on you, and they could run criminal background checks on you too. Okay, so just be mindful of that, be prepared, because there may be things that aren't disclosed on your credit report that could come back on your federal background checks, and you're going to have to be able to answer those and resolve those things before the lender will approve and fund your loan. But generally speaking, on residential loans, those type of background checks are not run. They're more specific, siphoned off to the debt and real estate holdings, okay? And commercial loans, they will have more criminal type background, federal type background checks because, again, the transactions are much different in nature. So I hope that helps answer your question. And, the biggest thing is if you got, skeletons in the closet, to be ready and to deal with it, when that stuff comes up, because it will come up, and you're going to have to be able to address it. If you have back child support, back judgments, back liens, that stuff's going to have to be handled. Okay, lenders are not going to close on your loan if you owe, somebody $200,000 or $100,000 and you haven't paid that debt. That stuff's going to have to be addressed. It's going to have to be handled. Okay, the best thing is just to get in front of it and deal with it, and make amends with it so you can get your loan, so you can move on with your life. Okay, so I hope that helps answer your question. Remember, we're a direct nationwide lender. People call, you can call or text us for funding. We try to help everyone that we can, 832-431-6331, or you can click on the link below in the YouTube description to get signed up to actually get pre-approved. Remember, we do a Talk with Angelo live every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. You can talk with Angelo Christian, ask me any questions. We do a free Amazon giveaway. We're here for you to help and serve you. It's where America goes for funding for the last 20 years. Guys, thank you so much for watching the channel. We really appreciate you. Check out my next video over, and thank you. Bye-bye.